welcome back. I'm Paul, and it is Sunday, so it's time to go through the 12-pound barrel. Thanks for stopping by to check it out. We'll see what we got going this week. Got some pretty cool stuff to add in there this week, I think. Nice golden look on the top, must be all the tiger eye. Alright, got lots of red jasper and unakite going on. Some petrified wood, some chert, see some amethysts. A little bit of crazy lace left in there. I see a piece of Labradorite just glowing. It really gives that labradorescence when it's wet. Chunk of Arizona petrified wood in there, I saw. There's our big Bahia Agate that we threw in last week. Oh yeah, we'll have to take a closer look at that. Alright, I'll go ahead and go through everything and see what's ready to move on to the next stage. And we'll take a look at some of that. We'll take a look at some of the stuff we've been watching, and take a look at what we're going to add to fill the barrel this week. Alright, this is all the stuff that we're moving on this week. There was a few other random pieces, but this is the majority of it. We've got a pretty good amount of unakite. It's looking really nice. I like the greens and the reds and that stuff. I really like that stuff a lot. And then we've got some more of the red jasper. It's all looking pretty good. All these pieces are. And then we've got some of the tiger eye. And I ordered gold tiger eye, but when I got to cutting it, inside there's a little bit of stuff that had some blue to it. So I like the blue as well, so that's kind of a bonus. And then we've got some labradorite. And you can see some of these just have some awesome flash, labradorescence to them it's called. I don't know if I can find any more, but there were some of them that just have awesome color going on. So those are pretty awesome. I really like those, the ones that have a lot of flash to them. And I guess that's the reason I like that stuff pretty much. So other than that, I wanted to take a look at some of the pieces that we've been rolling. And this is a Bahia Agate that I put in last week. And it's a big chunk. And I didn't know if you could see it in the camera before, but it's got tons of bands and stuff going on the outside. And it's like a full nodule. So, and there's some pretty good flaws in it that I don't know if will tumble out. And maybe I should have cut it. But I'm just going to stick it in there and roll it for a while and see what it turns into. I mean, it's pretty awesome. It's got the reds and the yellows going on, and there's a lot of bands on this side. So as we smooth it out, I think it'll look really cool. And then this is the big piece of chert that I've been rolling for quite a while. And I didn't know how well you could see all the bands and stuff going on in this thing. So I figured we'd take a little close-up. I just like all the stuff going on here. It's not a ton, I guess, but there's some cool bands going on. I don't know if you'd call it like banded shirt or not necessarily, but possibly. Just something that we found. And then this is one of our pieces of banded iron formation that we got sent to us from a subscriber, and I didn't know how well you could see that. Look at that glitter metallic to it. And this one's not moving on quite yet. I want to try to work on that little flaw right there. And I'm going to try to get that cleaned up just a little bit more. So it's going to go at least another week. We'll see. These sides all look really nice. It looks good. I really like that. I don't know if that's going to look like that when it's polished, but if it does, that's going to be one of my new favorite pieces. And then this is another piece of that banded iron formation. This doesn't have quite as much, it doesn't have the glitter to it, and you don't see the red jasper, but I love the metallic look to it. It just looks awesome. And it's getting really close. It's looking nice, but there's that spot right there that I was kind of hoping to kind of smooth up just a little bit more. So that's going to go for another week also. And then I've got a bunch of stuff that's been sitting around the garage waiting to go into the barrels, but my 3-pound barrels are kind of occupied at the moment. So I'm going to start throwing some of it into the 12-pound barrel. And I did that one Bahia Agate last week, and these are a couple more that I'm going to put in this week. And you can see the bands in that, but this is just like a whole nodule, and it's got all the rind or the skin or whatever you call it. So I'm hoping maybe we'll tumble some of that off and it'll look cool underneath. And again, it's another one that maybe I should cut, but I'm just going to throw it in there and see what it turns into. And if we don't see anything cool, we can always cut it and see what's in the middle. And then this is another one of those agates, and this one's got some pretty awesome bands on it. It doesn't have as much color as some of the other ones, but we're going to throw that one in and get rolling also. It's another one of the bigger ones. And then I've also got some Botswana Eggettes that I've been waiting. I've kind of been waiting for a 3-pound barrel to start tumbling them, but I'm kind of losing my patience because those 3-pound barrels have been occupied for a while. So I picked out a few of them that have some really cool pattern to them, like that. I mean, these Botswanas, ever since I've seen these, they've been one of my favorites. And a lot of these are some of the bigger ones, like I say, that have a lot of pattern. I mean, that thing is just awesome. And then you got this one. It's got some really, I've got one that's got the colors like this that is one of my favorite Botswana Eggettes. It's in my favorites jar. And then this one's got some pretty cool stuff going on as well. There's some real faint bands inside there. Excuse me. And then there's another one. And I've gone through some of them already, and I've cut some of the ones that don't show a lot or that have like a flaw that looks like it would take forever to tumble out. Just cut it where that flaw is to kind of get rid of it, and then I'll have 2 little bit smaller ones. That one's got a lot of cool bands that you can see already. And then this is the last one. So these ones are going to go in there and start rolling. And then we also have, these are another thing that came from the same subscriber that sent us that banded iron formation. And these ones are seam Plume Agates. And they were found, I believe, in Wyoming. Maybe southern Arizona. I'll have to read through that a little closer. But here they are. I'll get them wet quick. There we are. So these ones have been sitting in the garage for a while. And I don't know a lot about it. I know that obviously a seam agate is an agate that forms in a crack in the ground, I believe. And then you get that seam of agate. In between a couple pieces of, would be host rock, I would say. And you can see there's some pretty cool agate stuff going on there. And I'm thinking as we tumble them a little bit, you'll see a lot more stuff going on in them. You don't see a ton of stuff on that one. And then this one, yeah, this one you can kind of see all the agate. You can kind of see some banding in there and some banding in here. So yeah, that one's going to look really cool. So that's some of the new stuff that we're going to throw in the barrel this week. I just wanted to take a closer look at it. So we will go ahead and get things set back up, and we'll start getting it loaded back up. And I think if we have any more room in the barrel, we'll just throw in some more of our cut up Untitled and Tiger Eye and Labradorite to fill the barrel. So we're all ready to get the barrel loaded back up here. And I didn't mention on these seam agates, they're a seam plume agate. So there's a plume in there that apparently when you get the outer part kind of ground down, I may grind on them a little bit, but I'm just going to throw them in for a week and see what they turn into from that. And if I need to, I can start grinding some of the outer part off. But we're going to just throw them in as they are for this week and see what they look like after a week. And then we've got the Bahia Agate that ran a week already. And then the 2 more that are going in fresh this week. And then we've got the 2 pieces of banded iron formation. And those ones are getting really close to pulling out. I just want to clean that little spot up. Hopefully next week those 2 will come out. And then our big piece of banded chert. And then we didn't look at this, but this is a piece of white quartz that my daughter had found at school and brought home. And it's looking really nice. There's a little crack in it right there that I'm hoping to get that cleaned up just a little bit more, and then we'll be ready to polish it. It's a pretty nice little piece of quartz. So, and then there's another piece of tiger eye. And it's got just a little flaw. If I can get it in the camera just right in the light, you can see it right there. I'm hoping to smooth that spot off, and then that piece looks really nice. I like that. Might be able to do something with that. And then we have our Botswana Eggs. So we're going to throw in those. And I think we have a little bit more room yet. So we'll go ahead and put in some of our cut up Untitled and Tiger Eye and Labradorite. And that's right about 2/3, maybe just a touch over 2/3. I've been thinking about cutting back on my water just a little bit to try to thicken my slurry up. So we'll see what that does this week. And we've got our 14 tablespoons of our 4670 silicon carbide. And we'll get that back on the tumbler and we'll go for a week and we'll take a look at it next week to see how things are going. Thanks for watching.